All right, beautiful stuff. I'm going to give a short period of time for, let's see who else chimes into the call, but I've got some interesting stuff to go over with you guys today. I'm going to have your mind definitely activated. Your brain is going to go into a space where you're absolutely going to start questioning, but also understanding how you create the greatness that you're looking for. Okay, that's what I'm definitely going to have you doing today. So as I said, I'm going to give about another 30 seconds or so. So first and foremost, you know my quiet standard. Give me a thumbs up if you're having a great day so far. And give me a thumbs up if you have an intention to have an incredible day.
Oh,
all right. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Guys, you have to understand that intention is everything. Intention is what creates your reality. Intention is what creates your reality. But man, oh man, I've got some stuff to talk about today. I'm excited. But you know, I'm like a little kid. I'm easily excited. But yep, I'm definitely going to have your mind thinking today. So we're 1 minute past the hour, so I think that's good enough time to start. So let's dive right in. Do we have any keen gardeners in the room? Give me a thumbs up if you're a gardener. Any keen gardeners? Yep. Okay, so we have some gardeners.
Queen gardeners.
No, keen. So
keen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, keen gardeners. Yeah. So you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to say today, guys. If you've got a plot of land, let's think about this. Do you have to actively plant on your plot of land for the weeds to grow?
Oh, for the weeds to grow?
No.
You don't have to plant for weeds, right? Weeds just grow.
No.
Yeah.
They just blow in.
Absolutely. But if you have a plot of land, you have to plan for how you want to cultivate that land, correct?
Yes.
Because not all things grow in all seasons. Jennifer, wonderful to see you. Not all things grow in all seasons, right? So you have to prepare the land, and the preparation is based on the way you turn the soil, the way you feed the soil, the way you nourish the soil. But you absolutely have to always make sure you tend to your garden, because otherwise the weeds, they start creeping in the corners when you're not paying attention, right? And then what do the weeds then start doing? They start strangling the growth of your good plants when you're not paying attention. And weeds, they spread like cancer. They just take over, right?
Right.
You don't need to give them permission. They just take it upon themselves. Well, if no one's paying attention, I'm going to occupy this land because I choose to. That's how the weeds behave. The reason why I'm talking to you about gardens is because you have to actively focus on the way you want your garden to unfold. And the garden, it doesn't just grow overnight. You don't just decide, you know what? These are the ways I want my garden to look. And you turn up tomorrow and it looks like that. No, it takes preparation. And if you're a landscaper, you've really got to be planning about how you want your garden to look, whether it be you're planting food, whether you're planting flowers, even if you've just got grass on your land. Whatever you have to tend to it. You have to pay attention to it. You've got to cultivate it. You've got to treat it right. You've got to feed it. Because if you've got bad soil, can you grow good crops? Not possible. And even if you do grow crops, they may potentially be hybrids, not what you expected, or damaged, because it all comes down to the nourishment of the soil. So effectively, would you all agree that your grass is your foundation, or sorry, your soil is your foundation?
Yes.
That's your starting plot. That's what you're given, and it's up to you the way you nourish your soil, the way you treat your land. That determines what grows. So I know you might be thinking, Kev, where's all this coming from? Why are you talking so specifically about land, about what you grow? Because here's the thing.
Our business is going to be our land.
But I'm going to go even deeper than that, Betsy. I'm going to take it beyond your business. Oh,
Good
young
life.
lady, you hit the nail on the head. This is your land.
Yes.
Your mind is your land. And the way you tend to your land determines what grows. And if you don't pay attention, the weeds, which are the negative thoughts, they start to take over. They start to strangle your ideas. And a new idea is like an infant. It's like a bulb, a young plant. And that new idea, that young plant, they're the ones that you've got to pay the most attention to, right? Because they're the ones that need the most nourishment in their early stages, in their foundation, when they're growing, to determine how they grow, whether or not they produce good offspring, good. If you're growing crops, you can't get a good season of crops if you don't treat your soil, if you don't pay attention, if you don't nourish it. This is absolutely critical. So how do you treat this land? These are questions I want to ask yourself. But more importantly, what can you do to cultivate it and nourish it correctly? Well, you put the correct information in. You read, personal development. You take on board the right information. And just like your garden, your mind, it's not a one-time effort. It's a continuation of a process, meaning you must develop it consistently. So I want to throw this one out there. Bearing in mind, you're all entrepreneurs and you're all building a business. If you decide to put some crops and you put them down and you water them frequently and you start to let the crops grow, but you haven't treated the land prior to making the crops grow, is there a chance that even though your crops may grow, they're not going to grow the way you want them to grow?
Absolutely.
Ultimately, you're not going to achieve the result you're looking for. So
Right.
effectively, would it be correct to say that you must, absolute must, critical, prepare your land before you put the plants down?
Yes.
And this is what I'm talking about. You must, absolutely must, you have to specifically prepare your land before you decide to grow your crops, to grow your plants, to grow your herbs, to grow your food. Whatever you want to put out, whatever you want to grow on your land, you must specifically prepare your land before you start. The preparation, that's more important than what you plant. And this is what I tell people all the time. You must understand that you have to prepare your mind before you start to cultivate the idea. That's why I say that personal development is even more important than coaching. Because when you get coaching, what you're doing is you're planting the crops, and the coach is like an experienced gardener who's helping you make sure your crops grow in the right way. But if you haven't prepared your land, you're growing crops on land that hasn't been fertilized in the right manner. Or it might have been, worse way, sprayed by pesticides. Negativity of people around you. Negativity of people that gave you your belief system. So the importance of preparing your land is absolutely paramount. I can't explain this and truly help you understand the level of importance that it takes to make sure you nourish your mind before you start to grow. This is something you have to feed, and I will go over and over this because this is so truly critical. If you don't truly understand, you've got to nourish your ground. You've got to nourish your land before you start growing on it. Then what you're about to grow may not produce the result you're looking for. And the nourishment of your ground is a continuation. This is something you have to do, you must do consistently. Whether it be personal development events, you know we do events, whether it be listening to and reading books, whatever it is, you've got to do it consistently. Now, I would say, and I'm going to say, books are more challenging than going to events, because going to events, you've got an expert who's assisting you to help you unravel the weeds that have been there previously and then help you start on fresh ground. Now, listening to books, reading books, that's an incredible way of doing it also. But that's a slower process, and I'll tell you why. Because you're taking on the information, which means you have to be very self-aware of what has already been negativity that's been growing for maybe years or even decades in some situations. You must be very self-aware to understand how you unpick that so the information you take on board lands in the right way. Give me a thumbs up if this is all making sense, guys.
Mhm.
Now, you know I don't like to identify situations that require solutions without giving you solutions. Yeah, and you notice my language is very specific because I didn't say identify problems. We don't do problems around here. We do situations that require solutions. You know I don't like to identify situations without giving you a solution. And I'm going to talk about a solution today. Oh my gosh, am I going to talk about a solution today? See, me talking about your land, that was the preamble. That was me laying the foundation for what we're about to do today. Oh, guys, you got me in a mode where I feel like preaching today. So let me ask a question. Who has ever heard of something called your RAS, your reticular activating system? Has anyone ever heard of that? Give me a thumbs up if that's something you've ever heard of. Oh my gosh. You guys have got diamonds in the rough and you didn't even realize it.
The Silva method talks about something similar.
Who does?
The Silva method, Jose Silva.
Okay. I've heard about Jose Silva. I haven't listened too much of him, so I'm not too familiar. But yeah, anyone who really understands the mind will talk to you about your RAS. And I'm going to talk to you and help you understand why your RAS is so critical. And I'm going to give you an example. So you've decided that you want to purchase a new car because have I got all drivers in the room? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've made a decision that you want to purchase a new car. And you've gone to the dealership and you spoke to the dealer and you've looked at it and you've even gone as far as to notice pay attention to the color. That's it. I've made my decision. I'm done. You put in an order for the vehicle because I haven't got one specifically waiting. And whilst you're waiting for your vehicle, who would agree that you now start to see that vehicle everywhere you go? Yeah?
All the time.
Everywhere you go, you now start to see that vehicle.
Yeah. I
The
think every
same
vehicle.
color, every vehicle that you're looking at, all of a sudden is the Acura or the BMW or the Jaguar, whatever it is that you've got in your mind. Everywhere you look, or the Porsche, everywhere you look is the vehicle that you want. You're now seeing it everywhere. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that vehicles just started to appear, or do you think they were always there and you weren't noticing them?
Mm.
Always
okay.
there, not noticing them.
Always there and not being noticed. Let me help you understand. You're going to learn something today. Oh, man. Your reticular activating system, what it does, because as humans, we take on billions of bits of information throughout the day through all of our senses. If we were acutely aware of all of the information we took on, we wouldn't be able to focus, because we would be overwhelmed with information. We'd get nothing done, would be a blubbering mess, sitting down, confused and discombobulated by all the information we're getting. So what your mind does to assist you, it has a filter, which is your reticular activating system. It deletes, it distorts, and it filters information. So all of your senses, with the exception of smell, all of your senses with the exception of smell, go through your reticular activating system. Your reticular activating system is located at the top of your spinal cord, base of your brain. It's about the size of your pinky. And what it does, it acts as a filter. So it pays attention to all of this information that comes, and it filters out, it pushes out the things that aren't important to you. So that car that you've decided you're going to buy, the make, the model, the color, that's now upped in importance because it's something that's important to you. So your reticular activating system is like a little kid that wants to please you. Ah, Rebecca, you know that car you said you wanted? Look, there's one, there's one, there's one. It starts to point it out to you because it wants to please you. So your reticular activating system, it filters all of the importance, all of the information that you deem to be important. But it also ensures that you can function by making sure all of the billions of other bits of information are herded to one side because they're not important. So effectively what it does, it goes through all of the data that you receive, and in a hyper fashion, it plucks out all the bits of information that are important and presents them at the front of your mind. So notice that it validates data based on importance. I didn't say it validates data based on accuracy. It validates data based on importance. And the importance of the information it validates is based on your beliefs. So let's tie all of this together and understand how powerful you are, but also how potentially flawed we all are. Negative information is like weeds. You don't need to plant it. It's just there. In actual fact, 80% of the thoughts we think on a daily basis are negative. So these thoughts are flooding our mind. And if we have a belief system about negative things, those negative things, would you agree, therefore have a level of importance to us because there are beliefs. And if there are beliefs, do you then believe that your RAS is going to start identifying things that are in line with your beliefs because they're important to you? Hence what we call a downward spiral. Yeah? When you've got negative beliefs and you're focused on things that are negative, and these things hold a weight of importance in your mind, your RAS, it's not validating data based on accuracy or based on positivity or based on benefit. It's based on importance and importance to you. So if you've got this negative belief system that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you're never going to be successful, that rich people are the ones that make money, not me, your RAS is going to give you information to support all of that. All of that data is going to be validated consistently by your RAS. And guess what? Effortlessly too. Your RAS does this for you because it's helping you out. It's identifying things based on your belief system. And as I said, weeds, they don't need to be planted. Negative thoughts, they don't need to be planted. We are overrun with them all of the time. Therefore, it should come to you as no surprise that only a small percentile of people are successful. Is it now starting to all make sense why so few people are successful and the vast majority of people live a humdrum life? The vast majority of people have a run-of-the-mill life, a life that they're not satisfied with, a life that they're not happy with, but unfortunately they don't understand how to change it.
Yeah.
Because they don't invest in themselves when it comes to personal development. They don't read or take on board the information that allows them to understand how their mind works, unpick the nonsense, and start adding the sense. They've got rid of the nonsense and start adding the sense. You know, we can't or we shouldn't prepare for defeat. We should only prepare for victory. But the vast majority of all of us prepare for defeat unwittingly, because that is your default mode. Because if 80% of your thoughts are negative, who would agree that you're planning for defeat 80% of the time?
Yeah. Don't want to do
So
it.
we now have to take control of the small percentile and consciously start planning for success. And this is where your RAS comes in. Because what we now start doing, we now start planting seeds that are going to be beneficial to us. We start thinking about, what would I need to do in order to be successful? Who do I need to emulate in order to be successful? How can I execute my plan of being successful? What information do I need to put in my mind in order to be successful? How do I elevate the level of importance of the way I cultivate my mind in order to be successful? We've got a plan for this. It doesn't happen by accident. We've got to be conscious. We've got to be aware. We've got to be focused. We've got to be clear. We've got to be decisive about what we want, because success doesn't happen by accident. Does success leave clues? You better believe it. But if you're following the wrong clues, are you going to be successful? Of course not. It's not possible. You have to follow the people that have laid the plan in front of you, the people that have got the formula, the people that have already planted and are landscaping and cultivating a beautiful garden. And do you believe that if you've got an outcome you're searching for, that you deserve to achieve that outcome at an accelerated pace? Give me a thumbs up if you believe that.
Yeah.
Because are you worthy? Are you good enough?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Rebecca, I love the way you actually tipped your head up when you made a note of I'm good enough. Yeah, I absolutely am good enough. I'm going to raise my chin in the air and I'm going to help you understand. I'm going to sit proudly because I'm good enough and I'm worthy. You start planting those beautiful seeds that are going to make you cultivate a green garden. And you make sure that you are tending to the weeds that are growing. We must focus on preparing our garden in the right way. And I'm going to give you a couple of ways to do that. I told you I'm not going to give you all of this preamble without ultimately giving you solutions in order to achieve the outcome you're looking for. And I've spoken about these frequently before, but I'm going to speak about them consistently moving forward again. Visualization. Detailed visualization. So focus in detail on exactly what you want. And when you're focused on your visualization, involve as many of your senses as possible. See what you can see, hear what you can hear, touch what you can touch, smell what you can smell. Really get detailed in that visualization. Get lost in it, because your unconscious mind, it cannot distinguish the difference between imagination and reality. So get lost in your visualization. I spoke last week about the importance of journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you write down what it is you want, are you using multiple senses when you write down? Well, you're using the act of feeling because you're writing. You're seeing because you're seeing what you write. When you repeat over in your mind, you're hearing what you're writing. There's 3 senses already. And if what you're writing is powerful, do you think it activates a positive feeling inside you? Absolutely, there's a winning plan right there. If you're not journaling, you need to be journaling. Success leaves clues. Successful people write down exactly what it is they want. Go ahead, Betsy.
Yeah, I was wondering, so you are journaling what you were planning on doing, or what is your goal, or does that change like through the week? Like, so you've focused and focused, and you've written and written, and then can you change in you as you move along in
Absolutely.
your progression of where you're going? Is that
Yep.
is that something you would do?
Absolutely. I want to give you some clarity around that. That was a beautiful question. We all understand how to set goals. We set SMART goals. We all understand how to set goals. When I journal, I write down, I told you, I showed you last week, I've got a little practice of writing 3 things I want. 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the middle of the day, and 9 times at night. Even if I don't have time in the middle of the day, I'll write 6 times and 9 times at night, because I make sure that practice is done every single day. And I write it in the present tense. I am ... So I write it as though it's already achieved. So my mind gets into the state of feeling the power of that dream having become manifest. Because that involves multiple senses. So I have goals that I've got written down, but when I journal as though it's already achieved, not what I'm going to do. If you remember from my boot camp, I asked people to introduce themselves as a Success 2.0 character, as though it were already come to pass. So when you visualize your outcome. When you journal as though it's already happened.
Done.
You're not going to do, you're not putting this in the future, you're putting whatever you want in the present as though it's already happened, as though it's already come to pass.
Thank
So
you.
we've got
That helps.
visualization. No, you're welcome, Betsy. You're welcome. And that was a wonderful question. So we've got visualization. We've got journaling. But meditation, friends, is also another key component as to how you can implant information in your mind, but more importantly, how you can calm your mind, how you can get your mind to settle down and get some clarity. Because I've told you, we get between 10 and 60,000 thoughts on a daily basis. We can't control our thoughts. Our thoughts happen consistently. But what we can do when we meditate, and meditate it's not about controlling your thoughts. When you get into a state of beautiful meditation, the outcome you should be looking for is to become the observer of your thoughts. So you don't interact with every thought. Every thought doesn't take you on a journey. You can sit down and observe it and allow it to go past you. You create a sense of calmness. You create a sense of oneness with where you are in the present moment. But then with specific focused clarity, you meditate on what you want to come to manifest, what you want to come to pass. You have clarity about what it is when you're meditating, and you have that calmness, that sense of peace, that sense of achievement as though it's already been. So we have visualization, we have journaling, we have meditation. These are all things that will allow you to create a level of importance in your mind, so your RAS can now start holding on to these things and presenting them as part of filtered information that now support the outcome. Because as I said, your RAS, it operates on belief and importance, not accuracy or positivity. So you have to create the right information for your RAS to start focused on and filtering for you. And then you have to align that with your beliefs. Now, who would agree that one of the ways to consistently put important information in your mind is if you consistently remind yourself throughout the day? Who would agree that that's a great way of doing things?
Yeah.
I agree.
I am going to give you guys a simple hack that you wouldn't even have thought of. And I heard this, and when I heard this, I was like, oh my gosh, how simple is that? And it's something I did a while ago, but didn't realize the importance of what I did. So I don't know if I can show you. Can you see my lock screen on my phone? No, you can't see it because of my filter on my background. Right. I'll basically tell you, my lock screen, it's my vision board. Yeah. The home screen on my phone is my vision board. I did this unwittingly, and when I heard the statistic I'm about to give you,
It's good.
Blew my mind. We have the smartest way of being able to consistently remind ourselves throughout the day in our pocket. I'm going to make an assumption because we're in 2022. Give me a thumbs up if you all have a smartphone. Yeah, everyone's got a smartphone, right? It's just what happens. We've got a mini computer in our pocket. So your lock screen, you can change to what you want, right? Guys, do you know that a study has been done? How many times on average do you think people unlock their phones on average throughout the day? Throughout a 24-hour period, what's the average number you believe that people unlock their phones? Throw some numbers out there, guys.
30 times.
Okay. Any other?
30.
Hundreds.
200.
Okay.
Six.
Let me tell you, and some of you guys are real close. The amount of times that phones are unlocked on average on a daily basis, 110 times.
Wow.
The average person unlocks their phone 110 times throughout the day. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down 3 things that you would love to become important information and be programmed in your RAS. So whether it's develop a successful business, let's be more specific. If you want to, okay, if on your physical P, you want to exercise more. If on your personal P, you want to spend quality time with family. If on your professional P, you want to do 3 hours of studying per day on your business. Write these 3 things down, take a picture of them, and lock them as the home screen on your phone. You have now got one of the easiest, one of the simplest hacks to remind yourself consistently of the things that are important that you now need to put in your RAS. Give me a thumbs up if this was a hot topic today.
Yeah. Very, very good.
Guys, we have to control how our RAS is programmed. Who now also understands the true importance of personal development? Give me a thumbs up if you now truly understand why personal development is so important. Betsy, and I'm going to pull you out because I know the answer. Betsy, you've been to Insight, am I correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Just
it was
give me
wonderful.
a simple yes. Okay, so you see, I didn't even need to ask. I was going to say, just give me a simple yes or no. Did Insight blow your mind?
Yes.
Guys, if you haven't been to Insight, please find a way to get yourself to Insight, because this is the beginning of you truly. Betsy, would you say Insight was probably one of the first times you've ever really got to know your true authentic self and start to understand how you can stop blocking your success?
Yes. Yes.
Guys, do you know
sure.
the power of that? Guys, do you know the power of that? You see, and I don't know if you guys saw Jennifer's comment just then. Jennifer's comment, I can't wait for my date at the end of this month. There we go. There we go. Guys, listen to me and understand when I tell you the importance of planting your crop on good soil. And the ability to have good soil is by developing yourself from a personal standpoint. But what I want you to do, as I said, I want you to write down 3 things that are incredibly important to you that when your RAS to start paying attention to. Take a picture and have that as a lock screen on your phone. Who would have ever thought about that? Having that. Such a simple way to consistently remind you throughout every single day. When I heard that, as I said, I've already done that. Because I'm obsessive. On my iPad, I've got a picture of something that I intend to have in my life in the next 18, 24 months. On my laptop, I've got the same picture on my lock screen, and I've got another picture as my background screen when I open it. As I said, I've got my vision board on my phone. I want to consistently bombard my mind with information that I deem to be important to me. Whether it be materialistic, whether it be spiritual, whether it be physical, whatever it is, it's important to me. I will share one of the things that I write down every single day. The first thing I write down every single day, because of the difficulty I have with walking and because of the pain that I experience, I write down, I am walking unaided and pain-free. That is my first journaled, manifested line I write down every day. And that will come to pass. I don't know when, I don't know the steps that are going to be required, but I know I'm taking massive action in the right direction. Guys, I've gone over 30 minutes. Is it okay if I just keep you another couple of minutes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I want you to truly understand you have got everything at your fingertips and understand in the ability to create what you want. Is it going to take a ton load of work? Absolutely. Is the outcome going to be worth it if you're persistent and consistent? Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. You will set up the ability to start living the best of your life. And those of you that from time to time feel overwhelmed, those of you that from time to time have the monster of fear running around in the back of your head, those of you that from time to time have doubt, believe that you're not going to achieve what you want, start putting these new thoughts in your mind, start planting the right seeds, start nurturing your land, and then have a daily reminder multiple times throughout the day. Because it's easy to say, yeah, I'm going to remember to do this. You might remember sporadically from time to time. Not your fault, but life happens. So when you have a way to simply remind yourself, because it's in your face consistently, every time you take out your cell phone and you tap the screen, and your home screen is your lock screen, is your importance, that is so simple. That's a consistent reminder every single day. And I want you guys to have everything you want. I want you guys to achieve everything you want. I don't want this to be more education that you take on board and another failed business attempt. That's not what I want for you. Guys, you should know and understand, these Saturday calls, they're not part of the Entre curriculum. I do these calls because I love sharing with you guys. And I want to give you whatever I can to assist you on your journey, to put you in the right space and to keep you in the right space and to help you grow, develop and move forward. Because you are good enough, you are worthy, and you do deserve the outcome you're looking for. Guys, on that note, please understand that all can and will be achieved one step at a time. I am truly committed to delivering as much value as possible. The question I leave you with, as the rubber meets the road, is how committed are you to yourselves? Ladies and gentlemen, have the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Beautiful weekend. I know I'm going to be seeing some of you over the course of the next few days. Those I'm not, I hope you can spare some time with me. Because yeah, I'll be here next Saturday. You know this. Have an incredible day, guys. Take care. See you all soon. Much love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.